Everyone. I'm happy to actually have at least a few numbers. Sorry about that. I'm happy to have a few of us already in the room for today's session. And shortly before us, we will be sailing very quickly into the subject of the day. And with us here is the DG of the Nigerian Youth Chamber of Commerce, the person of Dr. John Paul Amen. Yes. So he will be taking over the REMS as he anchors this session. Yeah, apologies. We had to quickly get into this as busy as his tight schedule is. So we'll be having the session recorded so we can actually shoot to as many who are not available to join us right about this time. So thank you very much for being here, my honorable DG, sir. So.
All right, thank you, Adelano. I'm glad to be here with you too. Lagos is very central to the heart of the Nigerian Youth Chamber of Commerce. And for Lagos, we try as much as possible to do anything. As on that note that I had to break away from a business pitching retreat that we're having. Unfortunately, I was anchoring that program, but I had to leave and honor this Zoom meeting. We hold Lagos in very high esteem as a center of excellence. And we know that a lot of what we have to do and the kind of impact we need to make in Nigeria will be made, in Lagos. We cannot, move forward with anything in this country without Lagos being part of it. That having said, I want to say a big thank you to all of you who have made out your time to be part of this meeting. We're going to keep it very simple, straight to the point, so that we'll make very good use of our time while we're here. A shout out to Mrs. Florence and to Paul Ejeliku.
Thanks, sir.
Yeah. Warm
welcome.
Yeah, warm greetings to all of you.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Yes, how's the family, madam?
Very well, thank you.
Awesome. So, without further ado, let me dive straight into the issue of the front burner. We've gotten feedbacks from Lagos, the Lagos chapter of the chamber, about all the agitations, the questions, the inquiries, and all of that. So when we tried to open the Lagos chapter of the chamber, we had a great guy by name of Victor Obioma to get the train moving in Lagos. It was unfortunately, he had other engagements that became very pressing and he had to move on. And we're excited to have the team that is led by Mr. Adelana Adewusi, who is himself a great guy, does great things, and he's also set to move the chamber forward with his powerful team and make Lagos, place Lagos on the map of MSME in Nigeria so they can take their rightful place. Adelana Adewusi, we're proud of you.
Thank you, sir.
So quickly, I'm just going to take the issue that is on the front burner, which is the CBN Alzheimer's Fund. And as I walk through that, I'll wrap it up with an introduction to the chamber. And I'll take a pause and pass the microphone to all of you so that anyone who has questions on their mind that are, unanswered by my presentation can take the time to ask, and we would interact together. But more importantly, I'd like us to look at ourselves as the early birds in Lagos who are positioning themselves to be able to help to guide the process of organizing the MSME sector, particularly in Lagos. So because the situation of MSMEs in Nigeria is alarming. data shows that there are 41 micro enterprises. I mean, all of us who are on this meeting probably fall under this bracket in our businesses. So there are challenges that inundate us and then make it difficult for us to operate as enterprises successfully. Part of those is access to finance. It will shock you that commercial banks do not lend to micro enterprises because the risk threshold is pretty high, over 65%. Nobody wants to put their creditors' funds in harm's way that way. The central bank has tried to threaten to do all sorts of entreaties to ensure that commercial banks lend to MSMEs, but they don't. There are even fines that if you look, the central bank says if a commercial bank does not lend about 60% of their funds, their credit to MSMEs, they will be fined. Do you know what the banks do? They sit at their AGM, vote the fines that the central bank is going to charge them because they have decided they're going to default, and they pay because at the end they have decided that that's cheaper for them than to lend to MSME. So what did the central bank do? We're living in times now that we should be excited because the central bank has created several programs, but the one we're going to talk about today is AXMES. If you're in business, I mean, any kind of business, you sure know that you're probably providing infrastructure for yourself. This internet that we're using for this Zoom meeting, you've had to, there's supposed to be fiber optics to provide some kind of cloud-based internet access for us to just subscribe into it. But then we use multiple SIMs to try just to get internet so we can connect to do business. Yeah, the roads, the power, the energy, all of those things, we're having to deal with them on a daily basis. That makes it very difficult to do business in Nigeria. So you would also know that there's also a gap, huge gap in access to finance. So micro scale enterprises are also having challenges of savings because they're financially excluded. The revenues are unstable and it makes it very difficult for them to build up cash. The lack of financial records even is the height of all of this because it makes it difficult for any sort of intervention to be made available to MSMEs. Now, having said that, I take the one that is at the front burner, which is the AXMES program. The central bank decided to create a program in partnership with the commercial banks. The program is called AXMES, Agribusiness Small and Medium Scale Enterprise Investment Scheme. So I hear people struggle with this acronym, but it's AXMES, that's what it's called. And the purpose of this is for it to support the promotion of agricultural businesses and other production-oriented MSMEs. So we believe that if the support gets to MSMEs, they will become vehicles for sustainable economic development and employment generation. You all agree with me that the unemployment challenge is a nightmare and it continues to balloon. And there's no deliberate effort by government that is impactful to be able to address this issue. So this is also part of what the central bank has done. Say, look, commercial banks, since you're not finding it difficult to lend, why don't you contribute 5% of your profit after tax to a fund called AXMES? And they've been doing this for 10 years. Without fail, every commercial bank contributes 5% of their revenue, of their profit after tax to the AXMES fund. This fund is what the central bank is using through NYCC Microfinance Bank to give to MSMEs up to 10 million naira per SME that apply for the loan. It is interesting to know that the AXMES loan is a collateral-free loan, that you don't need to bring a collateral to be able to access this loan. So you come in and you take the loan without a collateral. This is a very important thing for us to note. And the loan is also at a single digit of 9% per annum on reducing balance. So every year that you hold part of a loan, you're going to be paying interest of 9% on the value of the loan that is still remaining with you. SMEs can get this loan for a tenor of up to 7 years. But trust me, nobody needs a loan for up to 7 years, especially if it is 10 million naira. So you are going to apply for this, and then, your business will dictate, and your cash flow will dictate how long you can hold the loan and run with it. The moratorium, that is the time you would take the loan and wait for preliminary processes to be ready before you can start paying, is up to 18 months. Again, this is depending on your type of business. So you can have a waiting time of up to 8 months, anywhere between 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12, thereabouts. You get it. And trust me, that's a very good leeway. You don't get this with the commercial banks. And this was also built into this to be able to make it flexible. How does this work? This money I told you have been contributed for over 10 years, and it's in the tune of over 100 billion naira now. It's routed through the NYCC Microfinance Bank, which is a national microfinance bank created by the Central Bank and Bankers Committee. Because there's no collateral, the bank requires that applicants should go through an entrepreneurship training for 5 days to build their capacity to be able to handle and implement the loan effectively. So that's where the Nigerian Chamber of Commerce comes in. The chamber has been accredited by the Central Bank as an Enterprise Development Institute, an EDI, to provide training to applicants of this loan, build their capacity so they can be able to implement the loan when they access it, and then guide them through the application process. They need to write a business plan and upload on the NYCC portal so that they can get the funds. So in 3 key phases, there is the bank, NYCC Microfinance Bank, which works with EDIs that mobilize the people, train them, and then help them to develop a business plan and access the funds. How does it work? The program is in 6 simple steps. Step 1, you go for a training. That's where it all begins. You attend a compulsory training and you get a certificate from EDI, an EDI, in this case, the Nigerian Chamber of Commerce. But by the way, there are over 480 EDIs across Nigeria. And the NYCC is one of them, is also training nationwide because we're a national chamber. Step 2, once you're done with the training, you'll be guided to write a bankable business plan so that you can apply for the loan. This is automated, so it's done on the NYCC portal. Once you're done with the training, you can go online, sign up on the NYCC portal, and then get through your business plan and then submit. I say this always, this is one of the most remarkable intervention programs in Nigeria. You don't need a senator to write a note on your behalf to get access to this loan. You just need to go online, go do a training, go online, apply, and NYCC sends you an interview and requests. You do an interview either in person, you walk into the bank and do that, or you do a phone interview and you get your loan approved. Because this is not a grant, it's a loan. So a business plan is required, and also an interview is required to determine that the person who is applying for this loan has the capacity to run the business. By the way, I didn't mention that this loan is available to startups and existing enterprises. So if you're just thinking that you want to start a business, you can apply for the AXMES loan. If you have an existing business already, you want to diversify, you want to expand, you want to grow it, you can also apply for the AXMES loan. Step 3, once the application is done, the next step is actually to get the funds disbursed to your account. And the account that you will have opened with a NYCC Microfinance Bank.
Hello.
So step 4, we're assuming now that you have the funds in your bank account, you have an alert. What's the next thing that you do? The bank has recommended the next step is for you to access entrepreneurship development from a certified business development service provider to help you to implement your business plan effectively. Now, why this is important is because we've seen cases where people take loans and the first thing they go to do is they marry a new wife, or they take a loan and the next thing is they grab their bag, enter a plane, and they're off to Dubai or any of the Caribbeans, and they just go to coast and blow the money until they come back to their reality and they discover that they're in deep shit. Now, the central bank doesn't want this to happen, so they've instituted this in part of the process is that once you collect the money, access business development support from a registered and certified business development service provider. And I'm happy to inform you that the Nigerian Youth Chamber of Commerce is a nationally certified business development service provider accredited by the Bank of Industry. Step 5, if you have the money, your moratorium kicks in. What you want to do is just for you to keep making sales from your business, whether it's a product or a service. You want to keep making sales because that's the only way you can generate money. You can make money, you can be able to make profits and then repay the loan. Sell, 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 sell. You want to sell like your life depends on it, because truly in business, your life depends on selling. If you don't sell, you cannot live in business long enough. And if you don't sell in this context, you cannot be able to repay your loan. So for whatever reason, you have to just sell. Step 6, which is the final step, you want to repay the loan. Some people are probably thinking about how they can take this loan and walk away and not come to pay back. This loan has to be paid back. And the good reason why this loan has to be paid back is such that the people who are coming after you would also benefit from this. Your younger ones who are not ready now, when they are ready, this is a revolving fund. The money should be available for them to come take and also do their business. If this is implemented correctly, trust me, this is one sustainable program that is able to grow the real sector, the informal sector. So for you to do this effectively, you need to run your business, keep proper records, monitor your sales and expenses to maximize profit so you can be able to pay back this loan. This is very, very important. Now, what are the requirements for the loan? You need to be a registered company. This is what the bank has said, but in reality, we know that these loans are given to people who do not have registered businesses as I speak, because the central bank had to relax that. Because if we say these loans are given to startups, it means that people who have business ideas, who do not have the capacity to register and incorporate a business at the moment, would also have access to this loan. It is not compulsory that they must have a registered business. But if you have a registered business, you have a better deal. I mean, you can be able to max out the 10 million naira request. If you're in business already, you need to have evidence of tax payment. You need to have a bank verification number. You need to have a letter of introduction. This is important. You need 2 guarantors. Given the fact that this loan is not collateralized, you need to have guarantors who are going to sign off to say, look, we know these people, we know this person, we know that he's committed to business, and we know that he's going to run business effectively and repay this loan. That's important to the process. You need certification by an EDI. That's your training certification, very important. That's actually your beginning step. You need a passport photograph so we can know who you are. And then you also need to present a valid ID card to show that you are a Nigerian citizen. So talking about guarantors, who can introduce you? Your pastor, your imam, your local government area council chairman, your community development association chairman, your village head, senior civil servant. As a matter of fact, any responsible person in society can, stand up and guarantee you, and you can access the loan. What kind of businesses can get access to this loan? I talked about generally agricultural businesses and MSMEs that are non-agricultural businesses. So under agricultural businesses, anything from production to marketing and in between, you can access this loan. The service industry, people are in the service industry, whether you're into hospitality, catering, or printing, or anything in between, you can actually access this loan. IT, people in IT, they can access this loan. Are you doing web design? Are you an app developer? Are you into hardware maintenance or development of platform as a service? This loan is also available to you, so you can access it and do your business with it. Are you manufacturing? That's actually the best bit, because the loan seeks to stimulate productive activities. So whether you're doing paint and fluids, or you're producing food, furniture, or wooden items, or any other manufacturing activity, this loan is available to you. You can walk in and take it. Creative industry, from fashion design to crafts, entertainment. Are you a disc jockey? Whatever you do that can show cash flow, effectively, you can access this loan and utilize it. The mining industry, from planning and research to surveying and the extractive processes, you can also access this loan. So the Artemis loan is available to any legal business that runs in Nigeria. You can go ahead and apply for this loan and get it. Now, who are we? The Nigerian Youth Chamber of Commerce was launched in 2010 by the Ministry of Trade and Investment under the then Minister, Dr. Aganga. And it had a clear mandate to provide nurturing and organize the informal sector. So the chamber was incorporated in 2014 at the CAC as a company limited by guarantee. We have over 95,000 members nationwide. And our vision is very simple. We see an organized MSME sector with outcomes that impact the Nigerian economy. Now, without organization, there is a huge gap, because any business owner who is running a small business is on their own, or they're just doing their thing to survive. But by providing organization, there's going to be synergy, there's going to be leveraging, there's going to be peer review, there's going to be self-help within that subsector, and they can have a stronger voice, and we can be able to make strong advocacy to government to open up the space and make it easy for us to do business. What's our mission? We pursue this vision by promoting functional and sustainable youth enterprises to generate wealth and create jobs. It is clear that the informal sector accounts for the highest number of employed persons in Nigeria. Over 70% of the employed level force exists in the informal sector. We believe that with organization, we can have a lot more people engaged in the informal sector, and nurture the whole of that process into the formal sector and create systems around them that can help it work. We know that we cannot do this alone, so we've had to build over 25 partnerships and collaborations with public sector organizations and private sector organizations, plus development partners that allow us to leverage systems that they have created without necessarily having to reinvent wheels, so that we can drive progress in this direction. I'll give you an example of this. We have partnered with NAFDAC on what we call contract manufacturing. That simply means that if you're a small food processor and you do not have the capacity to set up infrastructure that can produce or process your products and get NAFDAC certification, you can go and leverage an existing enterprise operator who has the facilities, has got NAFDAC certification, but is not producing at optimal utilization of their equipment. That allows you to use the idle time and do production, start business from there, sell your products to the market, test it on the market, generate revenue, and grow from there so you can stand on your feet. These are opportunities that we are creating and opening up so that we can give better access to MSMEs in the informal sector. The Chamber is a professional business development service provider. As a result, we have 5 expert business certifications that position us to be able to serve MSMEs better and build their capacity so they can do the programs and run their businesses effectively. We have 15 projects that we're running across different needs of SMEs in Nigeria. So whichever way and wherever that you are and you belong, if you open up to the chamber, join the chamber, you can become part of the big family that makes us succeed together and makes us stronger together. I give an example. By Friday, before I left office on Friday, some guy who is a member of the chamber, who is an exporter, came into the office. What was he asking for? He is exporting sesame seed to Jordan, And the Jordanian embassy, before they will give him the right documentation, asked him to come and collect the seal of the chamber on his CAC certificate. And that's what he came for. I mean, if he was not a member of the chamber, how on earth could he have gotten that? But because he was a member of the chamber, he confidently walked into the office and we provided that to him. He was very happy. He has gone ahead and he's going to do business very easily and seamlessly. We need to be part of a business membership organization as a global best practice so that we can find cushion, we can find support, we can find expert service to support our businesses as we move forward with pursuing our passions. So I can't say that enough. I welcome you into the chamber, and I thank you for the courage that you have, mustered to put your foot forward in becoming a member of this family. To do this and to allow all of you to embrace and enjoy this, we had to, put aside the membership subscription and grant you free membership into the chamber. That offer is still running before the year ends, so you can become a member of the chamber at no cost. All you need to do is to pay 3,000 naira to collect your credentials, your certificate, and your ID card. That you can brandish anywhere proudly to say you are a member of the chamber. The chamber is also a UNIDO certified entrepreneurship trainer, and we are partners of UNIDO on the implementation of NEDEP. NEDEP is National Entrepreneurship Development Program. Like I said earlier, the chamber has been certified and accredited by the Bank of Industry as SME consultant and National Business Development Service provider. We help you to build your capacity to do business more efficiently. We develop bankable business plans for you, and we support your growth initiatives and then position you for long-term viability. Because micro and small scale enterprises have a mortality rate of 98% within the first 5 years of their operation. You don't want to be part of that number. And we're working assiduously to make sure that we improve that index, so that more of our businesses that come from our young people who have ingenuity, who have determination, who have passion to make an impact, survive beyond the 5th year and they see the light of day to become blue chip industries. We know that if this happens, your business ideas, your businesses can be able to generate wealth and create jobs effectively. I want to say thank you, and I'll rest here, pass the microphone to you, allow room for questions so we can interact as a family. Questions about the chamber, questions about AXMES, questions about any other opportunities that are available. We know that the challenges are enormous, and trust me, maybe Adelano has a fair idea. We walk around the clock to make sure that we make doing business at the base of the economic pyramid make sense to all the people who are there. We are having sleepless nights because of you. We want you to take this seriously. We're taking it seriously. And we know that together we can make the needed impact. This is where young people need to be. This is where the energies of young people need to be channeled, entrepreneurship, because it is where we have freedom to express our creative ingenuities. Thank you for being part of this meeting. I'm happy I made this presentation to you. So Adelano.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. This is indeed very detailed enough about the vision and the mission of NYCC as a body. Yeah, I know a couple of us here would have questions to ask, and I wish there was more, but as in more participants in house here to raise questions. But I'm very much sure that after this timeout, since we'll be sharing the video, we could actually get a number of other questions we will not be able to attend to here and have them, objectively responded to. Okay, so so that I can use this medium to relate a few questions that, of course, lies from the mouth of a large number of members we have in Lagos here as a chapter. Okay, one, basically, I think there's a misconception that everyone who happens to be in the group seems to be more of the Aximes loan. And since much of our discussion today too has indicated that, there have been questions around, of course, testimonies around those who have gotten the funds. There have been questions around the timelines. Like, are there like possible timelines we could have up our sleeves to bear in mind that, okay, if I get this on ground now, then by so and so time, I may be able to get these funds to achieve the goal. Of course, we know that since funds is a very critical factor in business operations, and most businesses, in case that qualify for this, are not most of startups. Because if I get this very clearly, it is not for startups. Because for a startup, it wouldn't have the track record of the business experience. And the business experience can only be identified through the history of transactions he or she had run in that business, and by way of his statement of account, or of course balances he had in different projects or invoices, which I know might come up, at the time where interviews for this. Yeah. And I think too, a couple too felt once I apply, I joined NYCC and I put in my application, I do the training. In fact, the training automatically qualifies me to have the money. Yes, a step further, some guys knew I would do interview. Okay, if you say it's interview, when am I going to be called for interview? So these are questions that have been there, And while we have found a way to look at them holistically, I feel it will be very much interesting to hear from you too about maybe one or two guys who already has testimonies of either have successfully gone through the interview because you've taken the test, they've been certified by the EDI, in this case NYCC, or just names or references to one or two NYCC member who had successfully obtained this facility, since this has been running for a while now. Yeah. So, and then maybe that would now lead to other questions about the other activities that could just keep us running, since we are not just about Aximes loan alone. Thank you for that, Bisa. I'm sure I've asked several questions in just one of them.
All right, that's a good question. It interests you that Aximes program started, like I said earlier, 10 years ago, right? But it gained traction and got direction only last year. The bank was battling with how do we get this done? They brought in NIPOs. We want to get NIPOs to run this because they wanted for the bank to be able to get loans to 9%. They had to remove all the operational costs that build up to make it impossible for commercial banks to lend at single digits. So the bank wanted to run lean. And even though these funds are CSR from the commercial banks, they wanted it to be sustainable so that it can continue to run over time. So they created a program the way it has been created. The lady you are seeing on the screen now, can you see her?
Yes, sir. Kathy.
Her name is Catherine.
Okay.
She's a member of the chamber. So if you read what that poster says, and we'll put that there very boldly. And again, the 21st century, this is someone you can find online very easily. Kathy has taken CBN Aximes loan to grow her business. Be like Kathy, apply now. That has been the resonating message that we have put out there. She's a member of the chamber. She's taking this loan. Nothing stops you from, she didn't get a senator to write to the bank on her behalf. She just applied like every other person, like we have told you to apply, so that you can also get this loan. This are some of the people that have gotten approvals for this loan and they're waiting for disbursements now. If you look at that as the NYCC SME Hub on Telegram, and I'm sure you can see someone, Honorable Lucia Sunday Paul, announcing again, that's someone you can find online. I mean, 21st century now. As we're talking, somebody's actually just searching the net to find information about what we're talking about to validate what we're saying. He got 9.1 million naira.
Sorry. The only you are still displaying the Kathy information, sir.
The what? The Kati?
Just
Okay.
yes, that's all. See Friday.
Okay. Let me get this. Let me fix that.
Okay, sir.
Okay, can you see something different now?
Yes.
Yeah. So you can see Oluseyi Sunday at the NYCC
Yes.
hub on Telegram. How much is
Yeah.
there?
9.1 million.
9.1 million naira. You can see Omar Musa. How much is there? 7 million naira.
7 million.
You can see, maybe you don't know who this is, but you can see this. This is the president of the chamber, right? Dr.
Yes.
Musa, what is this saying?
Yeah.
Congratulations to the DJ. Because I received approval for my loan of 9.4 million naira. Like every other person, I applied. I wrote my business plan, uploaded it on the NYCC portal. I was not expecting, it was on a Friday, I was going to a training graduation. By 9 a.m., I got a call from NYCC Microfinance Bank. I didn't even do a walk-in interview. I had a phone interview. So they called me on the phone. We went around my business. How much are you asking for? What are the numbers? All of that. And then at the end of the conversation, the announcement was made. I applied for 9.4 million naira. It was approved on the spot. You know, so NYCC, on the NYCC portal, if you go there, go there and also check what is on the NYCC portal. So the bank says 8 weeks. Within 8 weeks from when you applied for the loan, you will be called for interview. We don't do interview for the loan as a chamber, we don't. Our job is to train people, guide them through the application process. So, but this is what the bank says. So for some other reasons that we have no control about, that we don't know, sometimes it delays more than that. But trust me, I got my interview within 4 weeks.
Okay.
Some people have trained with us. They are more than 8 weeks now. They have not gotten an interview. As I speak with you, even yesterday, people called me that they received notifications for interview. So the bank is working. They're doing what they have to do to get this done. Some of the times it becomes very difficult for us as a people in Nigeria to believe stuff. But then entrepreneurs, we need to have a different mindset. What's the issue about all of this? I've gone through this process and out, and let me tell you something. Every single training that we have done, I have had to go to the graduation. I hear people making testimonies, expressing excitement and joy about the quality of training they have received and how their capacities have been built to do business better. I've had testimonials of people who have said, look, based on what knowledge they've acquired now, they are convinced they don't need a loan. They are thankful for this knowledge, they're taking it to go and implement, and they know that they will grow their businesses from there. What exactly is the issue that we're talking about here? And I'm going to talk about this for the last time, really, because I don't want to waste my time over this matter. Entrepreneurship training. You're an entrepreneur. Capacity building is at the heart of growth. When you work in an organization, you go on routine trainings to build your capacity to run stuff. If you're an entrepreneur, you're going to have to go on training to get routine stuff. Now, ask people 10,000 naira for training, 5 days. Because when CBN recruited us and asked us to be EDF, and they told us training statutory fee for training was 10,000 naira for 5 days, we said that was impossible. So we had a forth and back argument, and they said, look, because we asked them, when you take your people for training, is it 10,000 naira you're paying a day? Said, no. The answer was no. But I said this is a community development program, and I will have to see it in that light to be able to work to contribute to the growth of the economy. So when people are going to go for a training to build capacity, ask yourself, which training do you go for 10 days, for 5 days that you pay 10,000 naira to? It doesn't make business sense to me. So what exactly is the issue, and what exactly is someone asking when they ask that question? And I hear a different thing. What are we talking about? All the people who have had to give testimonials after the training, trust me, they were the people who were least believing before the training. But when they came into the training, everything changed for them, and they say, look, whether they get the loan or not, they are happy that they have done and taken this step. So somebody's asking me to give assurance if this is going to happen. For how much? 10,000 naira? No, I don't want to do business with this kind of person. I don't know if I'm communicating here, but I'm saying, I'm speaking, we need to move. What do we want is the question we should ask ourselves. As an entrepreneur, you need to build capacity. So you can't stand outside and keep asking questions and throwing questions in that everything is right before we go in. This call was scheduled today. Nobody knew that for sure this call was going to happen. I don't know whether you knew. If you knew, you wouldn't have called me by 3 p.m. to remind me that this call was for 4 p.m. Anyone in the midst of all of this could have died, and this call may not have happened. So someone who was asking you earlier that, is there a guarantee that if you set up this Zoom call, it must hold? No. Some people said they were going to be here. They're not here now for whatever reasons. So for me, what's the worst thing that can happen? The worst thing that can happen is you pay 10,000 naira, get into this training, and at the end of the day, you don't get a loan. Have you lost anything? My answer is absolutely no, because I am confident you'll be blown away by the capacity that you have built, the network you have created. The SME Hub has over 1,000 members across the country now. Those guys are already networking and building partnerships and doing all sorts of stuff. And let me also clear something Adelona said. I mentioned this earlier. The loan, Axme's loan is meant for startups and existing enterprises. Because it's development finance, the central bank had to create that flexibility. So if you are just thinking about a business, you have not started, you can approach this comfort training, build your capacity and access this loan and run with it. If you're an existing business, good for you. You want to grow your business, you want to expand it, you can also access this loan. So for me, I want to rest this conversation about stuff. If you're in Lagos and you do not know that Axmes exists, and you do not know that the central bank has launched this stuff, what are we talking about here? You can always go to Google and check for CBN Axmes. NISA Microfinance Bank is a portal. Go there and check some of this information. Don't make it look like when the people say youth are lazy. I don't want to believe that. We are bigger than this. So we're not keeping malice with Google. Let us go and dig information and look for information. This is somebody asking me what is 1 + 1. I'm not happy with that kind of thing, because that question, my daughter can answer it. Yeah, so any other question or comment?
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Any other question from any participants in the house? Yeah, is that time we can throw in our questions so we can have direct responses to them, answers to them.
Okay, Tola Adodokun, I can see you. Inegedu, Mary Henry, I can see you.
Yeah, I'm in. Hello.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
Inegedu just raised her hand. Are you trying to say something?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, please shoot, sir.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate you, sir. The presenter, Mr. Wenkan. Sorry, I may not call your name right.
That's correct. That's correct. Thumbs up.
Thank you so much. All right. So I think this is my first time of attending, and the invitation was by Mrs. Florence. Already read a little about the NYCC, and my joining is to be part of the chamber in full. So, my question just is directly to when you talked about if someone want to be part of the chamber, he or she can will make a what do you call it, the liquid payment of 30,000. So, on what note would that be? On how can the person be able to apply for that? I mean, make the payment and then be able to get the required details to be part of the chamber. So, how can the person make the payments? That I'm just very new in the system, no knowledge at all.
Wow.
All right, thank you. Thank you for this question, Mary Henry.
Thank you.
if you heard me right, I said we have lifted, we're providing free membership on the chamber for anyone who wants to be part of the chamber now. You know, all you need to do is to pay the sum of 3,000 naira to give you your membership credentials, which is the membership registration certificate and the membership ID card. Those are instruments that will show that you are a member of the chamber. Now, you would be able to fill up a form online, and I'm going to show you that form now. You can fill up,
Okay.
yeah, you fill up a form online so that you can pay to become part, take on membership, register as a member of the chamber, and become a member of the family. So there's a link,
All right.
click, you'll fill the form. Once you fill that form, it allows you to be able to take membership of the chamber. You get your membership certificate, membership ID, which again are instruments that show that you are a true member of the chamber. So if you can see the screen now, I'm displaying that.
Okay. I can see that.
Fantastic. So I think I also dropped this on the chart so that everyone who needs it can pick it.
All right. That's fine.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So
Okay.
the bank account is there. But again, once you get the link, that's the most important thing you need. Once you get that link, you get there, you will find the account number there.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
that's right.
We're happy to have you here, Mr. Negedu.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. From Lagos, Lekki, nicely.
Okay, that's interesting. You're welcome, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, any other question from any of us here? My colleagues, Mr. Paul, Mrs. Florence, no questions we may have to throw in. Okay, I can see Mr. Oketola raising hands. You may speak, sir. Mr. Oketola Adidotu, you may speak, sir. I can see your hands raised. Your mic is mute anyway, in case you forgot.
Mr. Who?
Oketola Adidotu, the mic is mute. We want to unmute. Okay. Mr. Oketola, do I assume you do not have any other questions?
Hello.
Okay, very well.
Yeah, I'm with you now.
Good evening. Yeah, we
well
can all
done.
hear you.
Well done, everyone.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, actually, I want to find out, as an existing member of the chamber, at least what was the next thing to do to access the loan?
Have you done your training?
No, I have not done any training. Actually, we are expecting Lagos training to have taken place, but we are still expecting it.
So because of the challenges of running a physical training in Lagos due to the prevailing COVID situation, we training had not been able to take off as planned. But I'm also happy to inform you that Delona can deal with the rest of the issue about physical training and the rest of the issue about physical training. However, we have an online training that is ongoing. So if you're comfortable with learning online, I mean, you can sign up online and take the Artemis training and then get certification and then move to the next steps, which will be your business plan and final application.
Yeah, I will work on that and see how it goes.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Mr. Akritola, if I may ask, sir, have you paid for the training yet, sir?
I've not.
You haven't. Okay, so this is the reason why we've not been able to decisively put together a face-to-face training, because it will be commercially unreasonable to just have 8 people, because as it were, just 8 people had paid in the whole of the Lagos chamber for this training. Others had not paid. And from the 8 people, 4 of us had gone ahead even with the online training. 2 people had completed and had been able to download their certificates. One of them we dropped off the group yesterday. So the major reason why we were not able to coordinate that was the inability to get a sizable number, at least to put together a good number for the training, so that we can get facilitators coming physically to speak. Yeah, so like the DJ had said, I think you and I need to speak because I've been getting to speak with 1 or 2 guys to see if they are even clusters. If been able, there are some people who have relationships with different fora where they can bring in a good number of people, and we can even bring the training to that location. You understand? So it's not necessarily that all those members have to come to a place. Like if a body has like 50, 100 people, it will not be fair enough to ask all of them to go to a place. So we just bring training to them and come get education nearby. Yeah. So we can take this off the record if you insist to have a face-to-face training other than the already flexible and seamless online model that a couple of us are running today.
I think I have to get in touch with you later.
No problem. So I can pick your number. Are you the WhatsApp firm, the WhatsApp platform?
Yes.
Oh, fine. Since I don't have your number saved,
you will see my name on the WhatsApp group chat.
Okay. Do me a favor. Since you've been seeing my own post on the group, you could just private chat me. Yeah, you could just private chat me, and I'll take it up from there.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
I will do that. I
think the same is applicable to me as well. Henry talking.
Okay, Mr. Henry, okay.
Yes.
For the training. No.
Yes.
Not a problem. Just like the DJ had said, the coming up with the web environment option has been smarter, but for that's the bigger challenge of not coordinating a face-to-face for now, which we are very, very, very close to, because we have like 2 associations we're talking to, and we're getting a pattern from the back of the local government chairpersons to even help coordinate that. Yeah, so it's either we have to pull you into that distance to sit into the face-to-face training, or you might even be instrumental to, aggregating people together in your area, because I get to realize that.
No, I said that's possible, definitely, sure.
Okay, fine. Okay, not to take longer here, so we can take this outside this session. I will be glad to have a personal chat with you. Yes, sir.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Okay, any other person before we bow and go? Okay, so to this end, I want to believe we are all fine and good with today's session. Yes, so thank you for your time. This has been detailed and clear enough. We hope to move this chamber forward, and trust me, from the writings on the wall already, this is just the beginning. Yeah, and thank you so much, Dr. John Paul. We are so happy to have you despite the tight schedule to address us. Yes, sir.
Thank you, everyone in Lagos. It's been an utmost joy to be part of this meeting. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thank you, and you too, sir.
You too.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, so bye, everyone.
Bye.
Yeah, bye. Thank you.
Bye.